What's your take on this video AI? Have you seen that stuff lately?
Garbage, man. Yeah.
Have you seen it lately?
It's gonna make it hard to know. It's gonna make it so hard to know what's real. Like, yeah, they're gonna have to start somehow tagging stuff. But people that want
YouTube is supposed to. Yeah. YouTube. That's
all the thumbnails I see now on YouTube also. Gnarly.
Zero design.
They look super good. He gets us, you know. So there's a little nod to Super Bowl. All those pictures that he gets us. AI generated stuff. It just looks like it was shot like HDR as a photo, but nope, it's all AI.
Yeah,
it's a crazy world we live in.
I know. It's gonna be really interesting what that does with like everything. Like
I think what's crazy all the stuff with the presidents, like, oh, hey, we have footage of you doing this. Well, that wasn't me. That's AI. Like, how do you refute that? Like,
yeah. How do you prove it? And like, are we? Is this the sign that we're all going to get chipped?
Other world, like, it's like Palestine, Israel, stuff's happening. How do you know if they send a video saying that this happened to these kids or like that it's real?
Yeah.
In times of war, times of whatever. Like, how do you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is it like time that everyone's going to get chipped now? And then you can.
I might start seeing if it can make like videos for RC cars and be like, hey, here's a picture of this new RC car. I really need some run footage of it out, doing some cool stuff. It's snowing here, but nobody will know. Let's just rock this, and then boom.
You should do it. I
just sit here and drink Coke Zero and have popcorn. And let it make the content, and I'll just post it.
What's crazy? What the big takeaway that I'm getting from how crazy this is that this is like, people are like, oh, it's first gen stuff, and it's like, nah, it's not really first gen. But it's first to market stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's been iterations before this when it comes to video of AI, but the marketable stuff that's first to market now is crazy what it's going to be like in 5 years or in 2 years. Like, that's what blows my mind to think I can't.
This is early on and it's this good.
Yeah, it's like the Unreal Engine for doing video games. How crazy
I was gonna say, think about how good video games are gonna get.
Yeah. Yep. So it'll be, you should do some AI RC stuff. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works, man, and how the codec, like.
Yeah, people already don't believe what the other side, if somebody has a different opinion than you, you already are skeptical of it. And you're willing to believe what somebody that you align yourself with says versus somebody else, regardless of proof. Yeah, and it's just gonna get worse, man.
I bet you the codec for it though, the way it would probably, this is how I would approach it, is that all media, all data has like a metadata. Like, to break it down old school, it has like a metadata stuff to it, right? I bet you there's got to be a way for, like, remember back in the day where you could like view code on a browser and you could actually like reverse back engineer. At least I did. I was nerdy that way, where I would back engineer a website by looking at the code and understand
how they did it. Yep.
Yeah. And so I bet you there's got to be a way that they could do that. Like that every AI thing's going to have a license on it or whatever. Yeah. Like, and I've said this before on the podcast for those 10s that listen on my podcast. I've said it before where it's like, it's kind of morbid, but it's like, the more media I put out, the more lasting power I have for my family if I go. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's like, that sounds morbid, but it's like, I don't have that. I don't have that for someone in my family, because it wasn't at that place yet. So, and people can really get to know you later, kind of a thing, and especially when they like put my head on a bowl or something and be like, and it talks up and down with AI.
So there's that to a degree, but then there's also like memories not shared if you're spending so much of your time doing it on the outside and staying up late and ignoring them in order to edit video and whatever. So you've got to have you have to make choices, right? So it's what it came down to. And FB groups are my favorite. Great place to find somewhere like Scroll Tracks. I actually agree with that. I like Facebook groups. It still has a little bit of that feel of a community type thing of like-minded people sharing information. And it's a great place to land and get information. And so I totally agree with that. But
it's he was talking about being a designer, which is what I do also. And AI, how he uses AI. I played with it in that aspect, and I remember sharing some of the stuff that I came up with AI with you, like the geared people faces and like Mayan look, and I used it on my, and that's interesting. I should probably, that would be a good video to say for my UDR, the wrap on the UDR, how that's AI generated for the most part. You know, like the main parts of it are AI generated. But I still had to chop them up and lay them out and, you know, do what I wanted it. I had to push it farther. I think a good artist won't just sit on what AI spits out to you. I think a good artist will say, "Ooh, I like that, but that looks a little janky. I'm going to change it up and put my own spin on it." And they'll just take it up to like 4 more levels from what AI does. AI is like a brainstorming group if you don't have any friends.
Right.
You know right. I don't mean that in a bad way, Crawler Tracks, but I just mean like that's how I use it. Like when I used it before, I was like, I have this idea. I don't really know where to start drawing. I'm just going to type it in there, and then it came up with this, you know, really cool picture. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty rad. And
I remember when you were sending those for logos and stuff ideas with the gears and all that. Super cool.
Yeah, all the Mayan inspired stuff.
Oh, super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna make some things easier. It really is. It's just that, you know, knowing what people can use it for is where it's scary.
Sure.
But yeah.